And we have with us Siddhant Sibul. Siddhant, big day. Prime Minister Modi flags off the new Amrit Bharat train. A big step towards making accessibility for tourists across India, and if I may say so, even across the world, to the holy city of Ayodhya in India.
Of course, we are looking at these visuals, very important visuals, visuals of the Prime Minister, of course, flagging the train, and many of the school children now waving at the Prime Minister as well. The UP Chief Minister is also present. The Railway Minister, Ashwini Vaishnav, is also present. And today is an important day. Again, we have those visuals of the school children waving at the Prime Minister. Important visuals of the development focus of the Indian Prime Minister, but also the focus as to the direction he takes the country as well. And railway has been one area where there has been progress in leaps and bounds. We know that the Prime Minister essentially had made sure that the focus is on getting good connectivity, good railway connectivity, because that's the mode for the masses. And from the visuals, we can see large number of people gathered at the railway station waving at the Prime Minister. So essentially, visuals speak for itself in many ways, not only railways, but the Prime Minister present in Ayodhya. And these are the visuals which are being watched across the country and watched with a lot of enthusiasm. Now, in terms of railways, the focus has been on the inauguration of new railways which are safe mode of transport for these many people. Now, this is the phase one of the Ayodhya Dham junction, as we talked about and as you pointed about. It costs around rupees 240 crore rupees, but also the focus on how it is a green building, how of course the focus is to make sure that there are Vande Bharat trains which ply, and the flagging off of the Amrit Bharat Express as well. Now the Prime Minister is dedicating 3 railway projects worth 2,300 crore rupees to strengthen the railway infrastructure. So today is a mega day for the development priorities of the Indian government, but also the priorities focused on bringing growth and progress to cities like Ayodhya, because remember, Ayodhya is not a mega city, but it is an important spiritual center. It is the city where many Hindus go on a regular basis. This is the city where Lord Ram was born. Now, the next element of the entire visit is going to start shortly, and now you can see the visuals of the Prime Minister shortly leaving this place, and he waves goodbye to the many Indians who are standing and getting a glimpse, trying to get a basic glimpse of the Prime Minister. This is an important moment for many of them, given that these people have been waiting for a lot of hours now, just to get that one small glimpse of the Prime Minister. They're clicking pictures now, and these are the visuals we have seen anywhere, not only nationally but also internationally, where we see the diaspora trying to throng the locations where the Prime Minister come to address and get even a selfie, get even a handshake by the Prime Minister. We have seen how in the past diaspora events of the Prime Minister has seen the children coming with pictures of the Prime Minister. Now this event looks like is being concluded. The next, of course, will be the inauguration of the Maharishi Valmiki International Airport. That is another area we have already seen, in fact, of the visuals of the airport, which has murals of the Hindu culture, and how, of course, there are many facilities for the people who will be coming to this airport to go and do the pilgrimage. So this is an important pilgrimage center for many Hindus, not only in the country but across the world. And I feel that there will be an influx of tourists. And in fact, I have been speaking to several people who have been telling me that many new hotel chains are opening and being constructed in the city with the anticipation of more people coming to the city. Now, if you look at the visuals, the murals on your screen, you can easily see. And now, of course, the Prime Minister getting a walkthrough types by the Chief Minister and the Railway Minister and the Prime Minister, of course, telling them something. And these are anecdotal moments as well. A lot of anecdotes come from these moments later on. When we get to speak to the officials, they tell us that what Prime Minister thought about his vision of a new India, which is the...
Siddhant, I will get back to you in some time, but for our viewers, I would just like to tell them that these visuals on your screen were from Ayodhya Dham railway station, where Prime Minister Modi had flagged off new Amrit Bharat trains and Vande Bharat trains in his official trip to inaugurate several redevelopment projects in the holy city of Ayodhya, and we will keep on tracking these new developments from Ayodhya. But meanwhile, we will also move on to stories from around the world. Now, at least 31 people have been killed and scores others injured in Russian strikes across Ukraine. And this is the biggest aerial attacks, viewers, since the start of the war 2 years ago. And according to Ukrainian officials, schools, a maternity hospital and shopping arcades were among the civilian buildings that were hit in the barrage. And Ukraine's military estimates that Russia fired 158 missiles and drones, and 114 of them were destroyed. While Russia tried to overwhelm Ukraine's air defenses across most major cities, launching a wave of attack drones followed by missiles of numerous types that were fired from planes. And in Kyiv, people fled to the underground metro as apartment blocks and a factory were struck, and rescue workers in Kharkiv, Zaporizhzhia and the port city of Odessa worked to free those who were trapped in the debris. Now, multiple fatalities have been reported in the regions, with dozens injured, including children, as residential buildings were shelled. The attacks, which also saw a Russian missile passing through Polish airspace, triggered international condemnation and fresh promises of military support to Ukraine. And NATO member Poland's armed forces said that an unknown airborne object, which they identified as a Russian missile, entered the country's airspace from the direction of Ukraine for 3 minutes.
A Russian rocket violated Poland's airspace. Our radars chased it until it left Poland's airspace, which was also confirmed by the NATO radar systems. On the other hand, ladies and gentlemen, as technology sometimes fails, we decided to perform an on-ground verification. We sent several troops to follow the expected trajectory of the rocket to see if the radar systems were right.
Zweryfikować stwierdzony tor lotu pocisku, czy aby nie doszło do jakiejś pomyłki od strony technicznej.
US, meanwhile, has declared assistance for Poland over missile incident, and according to the White House, US President Joe Biden is closely following these reports of a missile that was temporarily entering Polish airspace. Now, the White House also added that National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan discussed the attacks in a call with his Polish counterpart, Jacek Szywiera. And meanwhile, the United Nations condemned the attacks and said that they must stop immediately.